what is youth? अच्छा जी, बहुत सारी definitions हैं. Different organization define youth as a number, but it's a fluid concept. UN की different agencies defines it differently. Some categorize it as someone between the age of 15 to 24, while others define it as somebody between the age of 18 and 35. Well, I don't believe in that. I have a firm belief in a Punjabi definition of youth, and that is "Dil hona chahida hai jawan, umra ichki rakhya." So I, personally like that definition because according to this definition, I don't fall in the category of youth. So I'll go with the Punjabi one. What is change? Change is to, make something different, make yourself different, make someone different, move from one place to another. And as the English saying goes, if you are unhappy about where you are, change your position because you're not a tree. But I'm pretty sure that in this time period, we can also move the tree. So if you're unhappy where you are, move. All right? Change. I'll be talking about somebody today, some youth icons. There's a huge list of youth icons that I personally get inspiration from, but I have just picked a couple of them related to the theme. First one, of course, is the Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai. Everybody has heard the name. Why I could relate to her? Because just like her, what I used to do was बचपन में डायरी लिखती थी मैं भी. I'm sure यहाँ पे कितने लोग जर्नलिंग करते हैं? Raise your hands. Oh, that's good. That's a good habit. बाकी लोग भी किया करें. It's a nice way of catharsis. Anyhow, so I used to also write diary at the age of 7-8 years of age. एंड बड़ी सिंपल डायरी होती थी. आज ये हुआ, आज ये किया, आज फ्रेंड्स के साथ मजा आया, आज नहीं आया, आज लंच में ये मिला, आई डिडंट एंजॉय इट. Similarly, Malala from Sawat used to write diary as well. And very simple things written in her diaries were, 2 pages को मैं mention करूँगी. एक जगह पे वो लिखती है कि आज मैं स्कूल के लिए गई और हमें वापस भेज दिया गया बिकॉज तालिबान ने अनाउंस किया है कि एजुकेशन फॉर फीमेल्स इज़ नॉट अलाउड इन दिस रीजन. और मैं बहुत अफसरदा हूँ कि मैं मज़ीद तालीम हासिल नहीं कर सकूँगी और मैं अपने दोस्तों से नहीं मिल पाऊँगी. A very simple thought of a 7-8 year old child. Similarly, in another page of her diary, she writes that आज मेरी मदर यानी कि वालिदा की सालगिरह है और मैं मार्केट गई केक खरीदने के लिए अपने वालिद साहब के साथ और वो मार्केट बंद थी. एंड इट रियली ब्रोक माई हार्ट बिकॉज वो मार्केट प्लेस जहाँ पर 10-11 बजे तक रौनक हुआ करती थी, पीस डिस्टर्ब होने की वजह से वहाँ पर सन्नाटा छाया हुआ था. And we couldn't buy the cake. Very simple thoughts. What her father did was he took those pages and transformed it into a blog and put it on the internet. That's how she was picked up by the national and international news agencies. She became a very active, voice for the rights of female education. And unfortunately, like many, she had to go through many setbacks. And one of the setbacks was where she was fighting with a life and death situation. That didn't stop her. She went on to not only win a Nobel Prize, but she also laid down the foundations of Malala Fund that is now working in 9 countries across the globe, including Pakistan, India, Indonesia, Bangladesh, and other underprivileged countries, where they're providing higher secondary education to the girls, to the female, and her legacy is living, and it's gonna stay even if she, moves on to the other world. Why? Because she believed in something so powerful as education. और यहाँ पे किसी ने कहा रीडिंग की बात की. एजुकेशन इज समथिंग शी बिलीव दैट वुड चेंज द situation of the people where she belonged from. And it actually did. When I visited Sawat in 2015, हर कोने में आपको सवात के एक स्कूल नजर आएगा और इतने स्कूल्स और इतनी एजुकेशन है कि वहाँ आपको एक मलाला नहीं बहुत सारी मलालाज नजर आएंगी in both the genders. So I think she won there. The next on my list is my very favorite person. That's Iqbal Masih. Iqbal was sold for 600 rupees to a carpet factory owner at the age of 4. और वहाँ पर उसने अपने बहुत नन्हे और मासूम हाथों से 6 साल carpet weaving की है, along with many other children, as a bonded slave there. और 10 साल की उम्र में he was able to run away from that factory and went to the police. पुलिस ने उसको वापस फैक्ट्री ओनर्स के हवाले करने की कोशिश की, and he again escaped. And then BLLF, which works for the former bonded labor slaves, उन्होंने उसकी सपोर्ट की, उसको हेल्प किया, and that's how he was able to not only become an activist against bonded labor and child slavery in Pakistan, but he also was able to free 3,000 more children from bonded labor. Unfortunately, Iqbal didn't survive, and he was targeted when he was of age 12. But his legacy still lives on, as many international and national organizations are still working on the concept of, on the idea of freeing children from bonded labor and slavery. Now I'll talk about Arfa Karim. Arfa's vision was, again, related to education. And she believed that women and girls can do anything. They can excel in any field. Because in our society, बड़ा एक simple सा concept हुआ करता था उस time पर, अभी भी है, I think, कि the ladies should either be, kept in the kitchen, or अगर पढ़ना भी है तो medical is the only field. But she changed that narrative alone. She became the youngest Microsoft certified professional at the age of 9, and she stayed as the youngest MCP in the world for 5 years until another Pakistani broke that record. And she was of the conviction that females can excel as well as they can in any other field in IT and STEM education. Although Arfa Karim passed away because of a terminal illness when she was 16 years old, but her legacy is still living in shape of Arfa Karim Foundation, that is providing digital literacy to the women in Punjab, in and across Punjab. So I think, again, she won it live. This is my new favorite, Zunaira Baloch. She belongs from a very underprivileged region of Balochistan called Hub, which is at the border of Sindh and Balochistan. And she was in grade 4 when somebody who was, instructing them from University of Balochistan, Quetta, and asked, how many of do you read? Same question. कितने लोग किताबें पढ़ते हैं कोर्स से हटके? Good. कितने लोगों ने जॉर्ज ऑरवेल को पढ़ा हुआ है? Very few hands, huh? So कितने लोगों ने एनिमल फार्म पढ़ी हुई है? Okay, so that was George Orwell. So at the grade 4, she said, I have read, The Animal Farm, and I am an avid reader of Charles Dickens as well. And the professor asked, oh, that's very interesting that at this age you're reading, and that too very, जिसको हम उर्दू में कहते हैं सकील किताबें पढ़ती हैं आप. तो उसने आगे से जवाब दिया कि I think by reading and getting education is the only way that I can pull the people of my region out of poverty and backwardness, and that's the only way I know. And she recently was appointed as a youngest ambassador from Pakistan for climate change, and she's just 14 years old now. And in the last conference on climate change in 2024 in Azerbaijan, she was asked, what does the youth of Pakistan want? And she said, they want climate education, they want renewable resources, and they want clean drinking water. So her conviction in education, again, is something that, makes me realize that that is the only way, by reading, by, studying, by creating and getting awareness about things around us, the things that are happening around us, to change where we stand today as a nation. So now I'll come towards that Zunaira at the international conference. Uh, I will come to another story, and it starts from a girl who was 6-7 साल की उम्र में और काफ़ी बीमार अक्सर रहा करती थी. नॉट द फिजिकल इलनेस, सारे टेस्ट होते थे, सब कुछ होता था, लाडली थी अम्मा अब्बा की, तो सारे टेस्ट हो जाया करते थे और कुछ भी नहीं निकलता था. और हर डॉक्टर के पास लेके गए उसके अम्मा अब्बा, हर हकीम के पास, दम दरूद वाले बाबा के पास, लेकिन जवाब एक ही आया कि आपकी बेटी बहुत सेंसिटिव है, इसको बाहर ले जाया करें, इसको सैर करा दिया करें, टॉयज ले दिया करें, यू नो, एंड शील बी फाइन. व्हाट वुड शी गेट अपसेट अबाउट? किसी ने बाहर किसी somebody said here, I care about dogs, so I loved dogs. That story is, by the way, about me. I love dogs. So somebody, you know, was abusing a dog one day and I really got upset and I stayed upset for a long time. Then at one point I lost one of my pets. It was a bulbul, very unusual pet, and it died, and I literally grieved, I don't know for how many weeks or years, and I still remember the day it passed away. Yeah. So I was pretty sensitive, I still am. But I was labeled as sensitive, emotional, जज्बाती, हर बात का बहुत ज़्यादा सोचना, you know, overthinker. All these labels were associated with me. And by the time I grew up, it actually, you know, got stronger. वो कम होने की बजाय उसने जड़ें मजबूत कर ली उस सेंसिटिविटी और इमोशंस तमाम चीज़ों ने. I was very much familiar with my environment, what was happening to whom and how and why, and there were a lot of questions as well. At the age of 14, I was in grade 8 when I was diagnosed with anxiety. In 2015, when I was a working professional, I was diagnosed with clinical depression and fibromyalgia, which is a neuropathic disorder. In the year 2017, when I was doing my PhD in UK, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. And that is when the doctors explained to me that all these symptoms that you were having earlier on in the life, anxiety, depression, low mood, low appetite, you know, the autoimmune disorder itself, it's linked with your personality. It's linked with how you see the world, and, you know, they both go hand in hand. And that is when I decided that I'm not going to stay quiet about it. Can I have those play cards, please? I forgot the play cards. I'm just speaking. Thank you. Okay, so that's when I decided that I won't stay silent about it. I'll talk about it. And surprisingly, not too surprisingly actually, later on I realized it was not surprising. I had many setbacks, many setbacks, just like Malala had, or Iqbal Masih had, or, you know, Arfa Karim would have had, and Zunaira would have had in the places that they were in. I was labeled as someone, I was sensitive, I was labeled as an attention seeker. I was labeled as somebody who was very self-centered and only thought about how she feels. I was labeled as a crazy one as well. I lost a lot of people on the way whom I thought were my friends. Of course, they weren't. My friends who believed in me are still with me and are here today as well. I lost many opportunities, good opportunities, two very good opportunities, jobs that would have changed my career for good. I lost them. And I lost very precious relationships as well, because I did not stop talking about mental health and how it made me feel. People always ask me, why do you talk about it? Like, it's not, you know, unusual. Everybody goes through it. And, you know, you are not the only one. That's the entire point. I am not the only one. That is why I want to talk about it, so that at least as a responsible human being, I can offer safe space to the people around me to talk about these topics and issues which are considered a taboo in this world. Now I will tell you how I changed my weakness, so-called weakness, into a strength. Um, it's funny that the incident starts from here. I'm here today, standing here today, not because what I did or who I am as a person. I have had a privilege of having a lot of support from friends, colleagues, students, teachers, parents, family, everyone. But I can't possibly name all of them. So thanks to all of them, they know who they are. I really appreciate you all. Because without you, I wouldn't have been standing here. But I would name a couple of people who are very much related to the story I'm telling today. I was here in the 5th semester studying political science major. And in 5th semester, I remember a teacher was teaching us political geography, a course in political geography. And she comes in and she asks, where is Gwadar located? And us being students, now I teach students, so I know how it feels. So हमने बड़ा ही एक तुक्का लगाया. हमने कहा यार कराची में पानी शानी तो होता है, तो वहीं होता होगा कुछ. तो हमने कहा Sindh. Most of us answered Sindh. And she was like furious. She was like, bring in the map. And the map comes in. And then she, taught us a lesson for life where Gwadar was located. It was in Balochistan with this more than 700-kilometer coastline in Balochistan. Later on, when I was doing my MPhil from Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad in 2010 and 12, in between that, I thought to work on East Pakistan and the fall of Dhaka. That stayed with me, That being sad stayed with me. And I realized that being a person with more resources, with more access to the world, and more awareness with me, because I am I'm millennial, but you guys have more responsibility because you are Gen Z, and the later ones are Gen Alphas, and up to Gen Beta bhi aa gaye hai. So you have more resources. The responsibility, I thought, lied on my shoulders, and I decided I won't do just that. I won't just stay sad about something. I'll do something about it. So I decided to work on Balochistan issue. And जब मैं गई फील्ड में तो it wasn't a very warm welcome. मुझे बहुत warm welcome नहीं मिला. There was a lot of resistance from the people of Balochistan, especially the Baloch, because of my being from Punjab and having Saraiki roots. They didn't welcome me with open arms and open hearts, and I could understand why. My sensitivity worked. The empathy kicked in. I turned it into empathy basically. And I understood where they were coming from. एक बड़ा अब मैं उसको funny कहती हूँ, but at that time it was a very sad incident that happened. I went into the field and I talked to someone about Balochistan, and he said, आप जैसे लोगों ने तो हमारे resources खा लिए हैं. And I was like, excuse me, आप शायद हमें जानते नहीं हैं, हम सब एक ही हैं, और ये जानने की कोशिश है मेरी तरफ से. And let's change that narrative. You know us and we will try to know you. और आज 14 साल फास्ट फॉरवर्ड, जब कभी कोई बुलाता है नेशनलिज्म के ऊपर बात करने के लिए, बलूचिस्तान के ऊपर, बलोच नेशनलिज्म पे, he always recommends my name. So I think I won there. My thesis was converted into a book on Balochistan in 2013. Salik S. Harrison was an internationally famed author on several books on Afghanistan and Balochistan, while Inayatullah Baloch is a hardcore nationalist on Baloch nationalism. So that was a very big compliment. I take it as a tamga for me, because I tried to be empathetic about how they felt. That was the story, That's how I turned my so-called weakness into the strength. And today when people ask me, what are your top 3 strengths, I, categorize my sensitivity and empathy as the top one. I own it. I have no shame that I am sensitive. I'll just conclude my talk by saying that believe in what you care about. Whatever you care about, believe in that with all your heart and be persistent. यहाँ पे किसी ने बात की थी गोल होना चाहिए. Find that goal out and be persistent about it. You can do anything. You can. Because the you driven by values and conviction can change the course of action of any nation in the world. You are not only the future, you are the present as well. And for you, Allama Muhammad Iqbal has said, जवानों को सोजे जिगर बख्श दे, जवानों को सोजे जिगर बख्श दे, मेरा इश्क मेरी नज़र बख्श दे. खिरत को गुलामी से आज़ाद कर, खिरत को गुलामी से आज़ाद कर, जवानों को पीरों का उस्ताद कर. थैंक यू.